In this video, I am going to give you a run through of some of the CompizConfig features. Just a second here. Alright, so now what we are going to do is, I suspect you already have CompizConfig downloaded, and if you don't, just search Compiz and add and remove programs. So now what we are going to do is go to Preferences and CompizConfig Settings Manager. Okay, and so now you can see all of your little add-ons here that you can use with Compiz. So right now I am going to just give you a run through of some of the effects. Okay, for some reason the scrolling is messing up. Alright, so all these accessibility ones aren't very cool, except the show mouse. What you can do with this is when you press the super button and K, the super button is the Windows icon. So enable show mouse, super K, and it should be showing up here. Here it is. And you can change this by going to particle options, number of particles, like this, particle size, you can change that, and that makes them really tiny, like this. And then you can have random colors, and you could just play around with these, like the radius that's away from the mouse, so you can have like really close. Oh no, you can play around with it, and so I'm gonna take this off. And so that's about the only cool one with accessibility. Now with these aren't really cool. The desktop cube, I'll show you what this is. Gotta enable this. Enabled top wall. When one of those errors pops up, it's just gotta say yes to it. Okay. And enable the rotate cube and enable desktop wall. Okay, so now what you can do, go to desktop cube, and it says Control Alt down, and I don't think that will do anything. Usually doesn't. I actually believe you have to go into rotate cube and the bindings. So initiate would be Control Alt button 1, but since I don't have multiple desktops, I'll just make some now. So I like to have more than one desktop. Well, I really don't like that, but like I like to have 4 if I'm gonna be using the cubes. So go to Workspace Switcher on the Add to Panel, and I'll just add that on there. And so now I'll go to Preferences, Columns, make that 4. You can make it as many as you want. Okay, so now I have Rotate Cube. I can go Control Alt button 1, and that's just your left click on your mouse. And you can rotate the cube of all your desktop. So now just let off. And then what's also a cool feature for this is 3D windows. So if you enable that, then hit Control Alt mouse 1 and rotate it, your windows pop off the screen. So you can do many more features with this, like put a picture on the bottom here and have a background picture where all that black is, but I'm not gonna do that because this is just a short run through. So I'm gonna take all these off. And I'll just take that off. And you can leave Expo on, it doesn't really matter. If you have more than one desktop, Expo is also, like, it's not as cool as Desktop Cube, it's a little bit sleeker, like Super E. So you can get a view of everything you have here. And so I'll just go back, and that's basically all the cool ones for that. Now all these motion blur ones, those aren't cool. Wobbly windows, I wouldn't mess with that because you'll just get aggravated by like the speed at which it wobbles and stuff. It's just really pointless. Now another thing I thought was pretty cool was paint fire on the screen. I don't use it just because there's really no time to. So what you will do now is check that and Shift Super and mouse button 1. So Shift Super, mouse button 1. You can put fire on your screen. I don't know. I guess if you're bored, this would be fun. I don't see the point in this. And so to clear it, you would go Shift Super C. And that is just about, I think that's it for just the cool features of CompizConfig. Now, if you just play around with this and you don't like what you've done, I suggest unchecking it instead of just defaulting it, because if you have an emerald theme, it'll change the window decorator to GTK or burial or something, and we want it as emerald, and so it'll mess up your theme. So I would just suggest unchecking them when you don't use them. So I hope this helped with your Compiz interests. So I'll see you on my next video.